Hi, it's the Galaxy Empress, and I'm back with another reading. I'm going to do something a little bit different today, only because I got some downloads that I wanted to kind of get out. And with this whole thing that was happening, with this German incident, um, I was trying to release a video similar to this, but for some reason it just wasn't. Something was always happening in the video, so either there was like noises or the video cut off. I miraculously or mysteriously ran out of space. So I'm definitely gonna get the video out because I feel like it could be helpful to somebody or anybody. I don't know, but hopefully. So one, I hope everyone's doing great, amazing, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day, evening, night, whenever you decide to click on the video. And yeah, so this is not gonna be with any cards or anything. Even when I did the video, and I did start to like use like the decks, the same information kept coming out. So I was just like, okay, so let me just go ahead and just release it. All right. Uh-oh. Let's get that out the way. Okay. All right. So first things first, the song Usurper, right? The part of the song that kept coming through the most was when he was like, um, Lord, forgive me. Yeah, I don't want to go. I'm comfortable where I am. So that part kept playing over and over and over and over again. And then what I did was I looked up the lyrics, of course, just to see what meanings would come through from there. And then I looked up the definition of usurper, which I'm pretty sure everybody knows what a usurper is, but I like to look it up just to see if there's other definitions. And so the ones that kind of stood out the most were the definition of a usurper is a person who takes a position of power or importance illegally or by force, right? Or someone that takes their title. And a legitimate or controversial claimant to power or someone who wrongfully takes someone else's place. And the word place kind of stood out a little bit because there was something about your location. I kept hearing like location, location, location. And then also with this whole um, health care thing, where people are getting, right? So someone wants to your vision. And then when I was writing, because I was doing automatic journaling, and I wrote down sight, SITE, instead of sight, like a vision sight. But it was like someone wants to calendar, like a cool colander. I tried. Hopefully it doesn't get flagged or anything. But yeah, someone tried to take your sight, or they want to take your sight, because I feel like whatever you are saying or whatever you are putting out there, it's working, and people, even though you may not notice it, people are looking at it, right? So then the other song that came through was J. Cole, She Knows, and the part of that song that kept coming through was only bad thing about a star is they burn up. So it's been something with fire. And I've been getting that a lot recently with like fire. So if you're like burning candles or anything like that, just please be careful. Because with that song, the next sentence is like rest in peace to Aaliyah, rest in peace to Left Eye, Michael Jackson, I see you, right? Again with vision, like he's like I see you. Um, So that whole left eye part was very significant. For some reason, when I was reading the lyrics, that part stood out. So I was like, okay, what does that mean? Um, Now, the places that kept coming through were Nice, France, Paris, France. It kept getting a fire in France. I know that there was like a church burning a couple years ago where they finally but it was something like somebody was cutting corners or trying to do something like quickly because they were getting a lot of money, something like that. And because they were doing it, something caught fire or like an electrical fire or something like that. I don't know. And then hold on, I feel like I'm starting to speed up, so I need to slow down. Hold on. Germanic and Japanese kept coming through. I've been singing a lot of German songs and a lot of Japanese songs, only because I didn't know them from like when I was younger. Um, but then this whole thing with that happened in Germany, that kind of made me want to actually post this video to kind of see how long is it taking for things to like with the places that I'm picking up on are coming true. So definitely something with Japan. Um, and at first I was getting someone that is of Germanic descent, but either they speak Japanese or they live in Japan, or I don't know, something with Germany, France, and Japan and England. So I kept pulling up towns, which I had to Google them because I wasn't sure if they were really towns or if they were just things that I was just seeing. So Carrington is a village in England, and Gloucester. Well, I knew Gloucester was, but then Wiltshire. I didn't know anything about Wiltshire, and I kept getting look up the shires, and so Staffordshire came through, and only Staffordshire I know is like a Staffordshire Terrier, which is a pit bull. Um, but then I looked, Staffordshire, I believe, is near Stonehenge, and Carrington and Staffordshire is like an hour and 13 minutes away. I don't know why this is significant, but then also I was saying like Carrington used to be a part of Chester or something like that. I don't know. Um, but that was like a triangle. So triangles may be significant. And where it is, I don't know why I'm getting to like the angles, but something about the angles and astrocartography. So like that's also to deal with like your location too. So that was coming through. So Wiltshire was something, but then something about dead plants and flowers. So I'm not sure about that. Knightsbridge came through, and then something about being on the right path. Then, and I know I'm kind of all over the place with this, but I feel like it's going to resonate with somebody. So to go back to the usurper song, I'm going to try to tie this in. Now, I feel like somebody took someone's place and they're being found out as being a usurper. And because of that, they are about to be replaced. But they're comfortable where they're at, so they don't want to be. So they're trying to do something to stay in power. Something like that is significant. There was also something about the frequency of music. So I wanted to figure out like how to find the frequency of certain songs, because that is going to like the numbers, and then the numbers are very significant. So some of the numbers that were coming through were 161, 666, 66, 66, 88, 53, 396, 999, 678, 222, 963, 45, 846. The number 53 for some reason had stood out when I was writing it down because I saw it a couple times. And then, okay, so let me go back. So when those numbers were coming through, I was looking up the shires when it was like, look up the shires. Then I was going down the rabbit hole. I saw about Stonehenge. So I was looking up Stonehenge, and that's pretty much like how the winter solstice, how it shines through. People do a lot of magic, a lot of ceremonies. And then the places, so Carrington, Staffordshire, Gloucester, Wiltshire, those are all considered ceremonial villages in England. And so that was really significant because it was like somebody's going to use the summer solstice to try to do like some type of ceremony. But clearly they may be like, if you're in the US, then they're in the UK. If you're in the UK, then it's in the opposite side. So if you're in the UK, it's happening in the US. And if you're in the US, then it's happening in the UK. But then they were also talking about Ireland as well. So Ireland was also significant because they have something similar to Stonehenge. I can't think of the name of it right now. And also something in India. So that also may be another place. So when I was going down the rabbit hole of Stonehenge, it was talking about Amaterasu or Amaterasu. It's a Japanese sun goddess, and they were talking about how when she was born, like how she was born, right? And she was born when her father wiped his left eye. So it kind of tied into the J. Cole song because he kept saying like rest in peace. So it felt like somebody was trying to so someone may look at you as like a sun goddess, or maybe they are trying to stop it was making sense. Like they're trying to stop someone shedding light on what they were doing. So they were trying to like kill the light. So that's why it's like when it was kept saying, rest in peace to left eye, Amaterasu was born from her father's left eye. So maybe it was like your father's trying not to have something come out about what they've done to you, or trying to come out about how they usurped something, they illegally or unrightfully put themselves in a position of power over you, or something like that is significant to somebody. And so it was like, normally the winter solstice is between December 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Just so happens that this year it's on the 21st. So that could be significant for somebody. And then in Amaterasu, I'm just going to say Amaterasu. It may be Amaterasu. I'm not Japanese. in this lifetime. But so I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. I apologize. My bad. Um, when she was born, her parents noticed that she was a lovely infant, and they wanted to send her up to the heavens ladder. They call it the heavens ladder, to put her up into heaven so she can do good things there. At the same time, I was getting information about Jacob's ladder. So Genesis 28:11 through 19 is when Jacob had the dream about the divine beings going up heaven's ladder into heaven. And so it was something about, even though Jacob deceived his father, again, that whole father theme, he still received God's blessing. So you have somebody that is confused by how, even though they, in their eyes, you've done some heinous, wicked things, but God is still able to bless you. So they're just like, how is that a thing? Right? But something about deceiving the father. So whether your father was deceived, or you deceived your father, or your father deceived you, something about that is significant. But Jacob's ladder was also significant because, again, it's with these divine beings going up into heaven, right? Where Jacob had the dream, they named it Bethel, which was called a place, was a place of prophets, right? And Bethel was destroyed by fire in 553, right? Now, going back to the places in France and that whole fire thing with the church, when I read that, the first thing that popped in my head was like fire in France. That was like something that's going to be really big, right? So I don't know. I'm just pulling stuff, right? Something about someone burning their fingers. And then also there was a vision about someone had a container, and in that container, there was something that was flammable, and it caught fire and they blew it out. But it caught fire again. They were doing something else, and then it caught fire again. Like they keep trying to blow out this fire, and it keeps coming back. So what they did was they thought, well, I'm going to put it in a bathtub full of water to kind of use the water to douse it. My hair looks crazy, but whatever. They're going to they're going to douse it in the water. But what they didn't realize is that whatever that was flammable in the water was not dousable by water. So when they put it in the water rose, and whatever that was flammable on top, it it was like a combustion, right? So the pressure from the flame and whatever that was in there that hit the lid, it ended up exploding. And it was something about a bathroom. So maybe there's like some type of fire or something in a bathroom, but it was like an explosion in a bathroom, and the tiles were brown, not even black, they were just brown. And they were trying to hide this. So be careful um, about that. And I gotta stop saying So that was significant. So somebody's gonna burn their fingers with something. The names that were significant were, of course, Aaliyah, Michael, Left Eye. I mean, Lisa. England, no. Lindsay, Mary, Queen of Scots, Jordan, Jacob. And then also the Mother's Night. That was something significant as well. And it's like someone's mom was like working against them. That was also very significant. So to tie all of this together, because I don't know if it makes sense, but I know it makes sense it makes sense to me just to like get it out. So just be mindful of fire or candles or anything that has to deal with a flame. Be mindful of a father figure in your life that you know that has betrayed you in the past. Of course, if it doesn't resonate with you, then don't reply, let it fly, let it somebody else take it. And then also there was something about like the Fae as well. So, and I kept getting druids with like Stonehenge and stuff like that. So maybe that may be something like a confirmation for you or somebody. So just be mindful of who you tell your visions to as I post this video. Be mindful about also people touching you at this time. Just be very mindful about that. And also gifts that you receive or give. And just be mindful of taking your time with things at this point, right? We're still in the shadow period of Mercury and Gatorade, Mercury and retrograde. We're still in that shadow period. So just be very mindful of like what you're doing, what you're saying. Also keep your boundaries as well. because I feel like because someone else wants to try to stop the light from being shed on them, they're trying to do something to you to like provoke you, to make you lash out to. Because what I was getting is like there's somebody that people are looking at sideways. They're like, okay, you said that the collective was doing X, Y, and Z, and they're not doing that. Or you said that the collective was like this, and we see that they're not. But this person that they were getting all their information from doesn't know that these people were already watching you somehow. We're already putting you in situations to see how you would react, to see if you were going to react like how they said. And the whole time they were letting this person that was originally getting information from you, they were just letting them talk, letting them run their mouth, letting them bash your name, do all this stuff because they were already getting information. They already had their own intel that they knew was a reliable source and everything. Because I feel like there was like a shift. There was a shift from the status quo to something that's different. And so now the people that they were getting information from about you, they realize we can't really trust these people because we know that they don't have anything to lose. So they can say whatever they want to because who cares, right? So they now that they have people that's actually collecting information on you or that has reliable information about you, they are they're looking at these other people sideways like, well, if you're saying that the collective has done this to you, what did you do to the collective? And then it's also going back how they know this person, they know how this person has acted in the past. So they know for sure that they can't trust them, especially now that they know for sure that this person is lying about you. They know that this person is lying for sure because they will ask them questions, they will give them an answer, and then they will get their own information. I don't know how they're watching you or whatever, but they'll get their own information, maybe remote viewing, who knows? And then they'll realize like this isn't what it is. So they're looking at them as like a usurper. Like you literally said and did whatever you needed to do to get in this position to get information from this person or to get information about the collective just so you can get whatever comes with it. Blessings, money, status, power, a place to stay, something, anything, something tangible in the physical realm, right? And then I was getting like Ti song where it's like prioritizing horribly, you're piss poor morally. So it was like this, they know that this person has no morals, this person has no couth. And also you get like, there's no honor amongst thieves. So they already know that this person is not the best person they should be getting information from. And so to tie everything back in together, let's fold it all in. You are being vindicated. People are seeing you for who you are, and they're understanding. They may not agree with how you've done things, but they are understanding why you've done the things that you have done in your past. And they also realize that you are not doing things out of spite or to get back at anybody or to be vengeful or anything, right? They realize like you go through a lot before you actually be like, you know what? Let's just set the match and just burn it all. Like, and again, with fire, like that's what's coming through. It's like they understand that you are not just somebody that's going to go out of your way to hurt somebody, to harm somebody, to spread malicious rumors or spread anything. They realize that if you are saying something about somebody, there is more than likely not just a grain of truth. There's like a whole boulder of truth. Colorado may be significant. There's like a whole like rock, that there is a whole thing that's there. And so now they're like, okay, well, if they're saying this about this person, let's look into it. And they're noticing that the more that they look into these things about these other people, they're realizing that now they understand why these people were lying and doing all these things negative to you, because you were actually shining the light on them, being truthful about what they were actually doing. But because they had more pull than you did, and I'm getting like some type of conservatorship over you, to where they can be like, oh no, this person's lying, don't believe them. Don't believe them at all. No, don't trust them. You can't trust them. You can't trust them when really it's the person that they're talking, that's talking bad about you to them, right? So again, you are being vindicated. Be mindful with fire. Be mindful about, just like lashing out, right? If you know that someone's trying to piss you off, just laugh, right? Like do the opposite of what they want. If they want you mad, deliberately be happy. Even if inside you're just like seething or you want to lash out, just don't, because honestly, it's not even worth it. So you have, and then that was another thing, sorry. Someone is losing credibility with these people. And because they're losing credibility, they're just like, I have to do one thing. If I can just get the collective to do one thing, I can gain a sliver of credibility back, right? They're just like, all I need is just a door to open, and then I can put my foot in and then like open it and wedge it open a little bit more. So because their opportunity is closing for them to prove themselves, it's looking grim for them. And it's something as simple as like a decision, right? Like let's say you normally go to a particular bank, right? We're just gonna throw that out there. You normally go to a particular bank and you're like, maybe I should go to this bank, but then while you're driving to the bank or you get to the bank, you automatically see a sign that was just like, never mind, right? And instead of questioning your intuition, you just say, you know what, I'm just gonna trust it, we're gonna go with it. Divine said, no, we're not going to do it today. We're going to go somewhere else, right? So you leave. It's something as simple as that. They will say, oh, I bet they're going to go, because they've been watching you too. That bet they're going to go to this bank and do this and do that. But the fact that you didn't do that, you didn't go to the bank, you didn't, instead of going there and doing what you normally do, take out whatever, or just, whatever you do, you didn't do that. People are now looking at them like, you said they were going to do it at this day and at this time, right? Because you said you set that intention for them to do that. So maybe you're not as powerful as you think you are. So it's making that person feel stupid, because they're just like, well, not really stupid. It's making them feel like their back is against the wall, because the pressure is on. Because I'm getting like there's like the time is ticking down, right? And that little window, it's getting smaller and smaller. And something about the solstice is very significant about what they need to be done. There needed to be a chain of events that needed to have happened by the solstice in order for like the domino to keep going, right? And the picture that I get is like, there's a bunch of, I don't know if people have seen this picture before, there's a bunch of matches, and there's all these matches that are burnt, but you move that one match and then the rest of them are saved, and you are literally that one match that was moved. So because you stopped that chain of events, they have no choice but to keep going. They have no choice but to keep going. But they have to they have to wait for their own sign system to see if it went through or not. But by the time they figure out that it didn't go through, it's already too late. The time frame has already passed. So I really hope that this made sense to somebody. I'm going to just post it and just let it fly. And I will be back on to do like another reading with actual cards and stuff like that. But that was just a download. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful, great night, evening. And I hope that this resonated with somebody. And yeah, take care. Love you. Bye.